This one is for the experiencers. If you don't know what that is, it might be because you're not one, or you might be one, but you just don't know it, or you're in denial, because that happens a lot. I'm also one, I don't like to talk about it a whole lot because I don't think society is kind to experiencers. Let me explain what it is though. Experiencers are people who have experiences with anomalous phenomenon, or with the phenomenon as we usually call it. And what is that? That's things that are paranormal. Maybe you saw a ghost, or you felt like a place was haunted. It could be experiences seeing a UFO, maybe an alien, maybe you were abducted. There's just like so many things. But it could even be with having like a psychic experience, like a precognitive dream where you have a dream and it's weird and vivid and then it ends up coming true, really freaking you out. Also medium-based experiences where it feels like someone's speaking to you who passed away, or you get this weird little synchronicity that involves them. Also synchronicities in general, just weird events that unfold that just shouldn't have been able to unfold. It just kind of seems to defy logic somehow. Those are all part of anomalous phenomenon, and if you've had an experience like that, then you would be considered an experiencer. Also having like download or information from non-human intelligence, that's another one, which is the one I really want to talk about. If you're not an experiencer, that's fine, you can listen. If you don't believe in this stuff and you're here to leave a disparaging comment, don't waste our time or your time, because I'm gonna delete it. Experiencers go through real experiences. You don't have to believe the interpretations, but it's very real, and it's not fair to try to talk people out of their experiences or try to convince them one way or the other. So I won't really tolerate that, and I will delete those comments, just letting you know now, okay? Because this is for the experiencers, not for skeptics to come in and be mean. Okay, so I'm gonna get on with this. The thing I want to talk about is communication. Again, if you don't know me, I love communication. I'm a musician, I'm a music artist, I'm also a visual artist, and I do graphic design, and I'm a writer, and I specifically studied communication. I have a degree in communication, and it's a special interest, so I yap about it a lot. Now, I've talked about this before, that when it comes to communication, everyone has filters where, and this is for like any of our modalities of experience, how we perceive the entire world, but also how we hear and talk to others. Everything comes through filters, and those filters are emotional filters, and they can also be based off of our conditioning, like how society conditioned us, or how our families conditioned us, our traumas, all of the above. Good experiences, bad experiences. They create filters that are right here, and when someone talks to you, what they say passes through that filter and adjusts whatever was said. So when you're hearing someone talk, or they wrote it, whatever it is, anything that's coming through, you're not getting it in pure form as they've sent it out. You're getting it in the form of your filter, right? So we experience the world and we experience information as we are, not as the information is, or as the entity is who sent the communication. You see where I'm going with this? The thing that I want to express here is about how we interpret our experiences and how much trust we want to give those. Now, a lot of us get really confused, and we don't know what to think of our experiences, and we kind of just try to avoid it, right? Because it's a lot. But then some of us want to be so sure that we know, right? And that's just like a human tendency. We want to know things. It's really frustrating to not know things, to not understand. That feels scary. So we try to make sense of it. We try to fit it into a box, and we try to fit it into the box that makes the most sense to us. And then we want to just, yes, this is it. This is it. This is absolutely what it is, and no room for any other interpretation. Now, what's the problem with that? Our filters, right? So if you're getting communications from whoever, whatever your experience is, it's a ghost, it's a past loved one, or an alien, or some other form of non-human intelligence. We don't know what it is, but somehow you're getting information. It's passing through your filter, okay? It is absolutely passing through your filter, which means you don't really know if you're interpreting it properly, right? We can't manage to just communicate with one another, just other human beings, and be sure that we really know what they're saying unless we put the effort in to be aware of our own filters and try to work outside of them or ask clarifying questions to be like, hey, I heard it like this, but I have this filter here because you triggered a trauma that I went through once. So I'm just trying to make sure, is that what you meant? Or did I just hear it that way? Like, what did you really mean? If you're not having that kind of back and forth where you're digging for clarities to make sure you really know, you really don't know that you understood someone properly. And a lot of people will not do that, skip that step, and think that, oh, they meant to insult me. Now I'm upset, and they react accordingly. And that other person might be like, what? I wasn't trying to insult you. What do you mean? Okay. And then fight ensues, miscommunication, all that. Okay. Other human beings in our own family, our own friend groups, our own neighborhoods and societies, we do this. So when it comes to any potential communication with whatever the phenomenon is, whoever it is, do you think we're quite qualified yet to trust all of our interpretations? We're not. And I'm not saying to not interpret it or to not trust, but before we try to go into full out fear response, they're here to take us over, or oh, it was angels, or whatever your particular interpretation is, because I don't know, maybe they are here to take us over. Maybe they are angels. I don't know. Or maybe we're completely wrong and we're just processing that info through our filters, and our filters are kind of skewed, right? So there's a solution here, which is to be neutral as best we can. With people, we can ask for clarity, and with whatever, maybe the phenomenon, we can ask for clarity too. I don't really know. We could try. We probably should try. And then keep pushing for more information and disclosure from people who know, because there's definitely people who know. They know more than what they're saying. Well, I don't know, maybe they don't. Anyway, but until we can get that clarity, do our best to stay neutral and try to not interpret it too strongly in any one direction. Just be aware of the fact that we have these filters and that we can't really help it. It's not like it's natural to have the filters. That's where we're at, and the information's going to come through them. Fine, it's going to come through it, but understand that. Just be aware of it and know that I can interpret it this way, I can interpret it that way. I'm not really gonna buy too deeply into any interpretation. I'm just gonna acknowledge the experience, acknowledge how it made me feel, acknowledge my filter and how my filter could be affecting how I experience that experience, and stay open and neutral so that if there's new information given, I'm able to process it, hear it, understand it, and then apply it to my experiences and see if it helps me understand it better. I hope this is all making sense. I never know. I try. That's the thing with the more you study communication, the more you realize how messy it is. So messy. But anyway, that's what I wanted to babble on about today, is communication and filters again, because it's so important. It's so important to how we get along with anything and anyone. Let's talk about it. Do you have questions? Do you have similar theories? Is there a filter that you realized you had that you didn't know? Or maybe this video made you realize you have one? Let's talk about it. As always, I want to talk about aliens. I love them.